Have you ever had sex with someone famous? NSFW. Good friend of mine had his relationship ended when his girlfriend called and rather bluntly stated that she was going to spend the night in Pauly Shore's hotel room instead of back at the dorms. I bought him Biodome for his birthday. He was not amused. My grandmother banged Frank Sinatra in her early years. I love that this story was told to the grandkids. An old roommate of mine, who's incredibly hot, was a bartender at a swanky hotspot in the West Village of New York City. Celebrities would come in all the time right after they opened. One evening, right after 300 came out, Gerard Butler strolls in for a few drinks. He and her hit it off. He stays till closing, only 2 AM at this place, and waits for her to cash out and clean up. They go to his place, and the report I got was that it was pretty vanilla. Funny part is when she's telling me the story, I couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if she brought him back to our place. I imagined walking out of my room, groggy on a Sunday morning, and heading to the bathroom only to find Gerard Butler taking a sh*t. Edit. Spelling. This is private. My uncle dated, and I regret to imagine, had sex with Gillian Anderson, Scully from the X-Files. I met her a few times, and she was absolutely awesome. I want to believe. I split a bottle of Southern Comfort with Janis Joplin in October 1969. That's as close as I've ever gotten in any way, shape, or form to someone famous. I just googled a lot of names. This thread is exhausting. I made out with a girl who apparently gave Colin Farrell head about an hour earlier. No, I did not know at the time. In conclusion, I gave Colin Farrell head. 2 girls I know claim to have F-ked Russell Brand, and tell stories about it infused with enough shame that they're believable. He's like the Kevin Bacon of Essex in the UK. Everyone knows someone who has F-ked him, so we're all connected. Edit. While I know people who have F-ked him, I'm not one of them, nor have I F-ked anyone who has. So stfu with the Eskimo brothers sh*t. I open mouth kissed Cat Power once. That was pretty amazing. A friend of mine banged Randy from Trailer Park Boys. Ha 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 ha. Met a girl at a bar who had like one line in that movie Drive. To my surprise, we went back to her hotel room. Forgot her name because I was F-ked up. IMDb'd her name from the bathroom. Closed the deal. Julia Stiles has seen me naked. I was 7. No joke. My friend had sex with Jamie Kennedy. She's okay now. I shagged the babysitter of a grumpy little girl on the balcony at the royal wedding. Does that count? Yes. The guy from Boondock Saints in a bar. But I'm not telling you which one. As to save face. Edit. God damn it. Not Willem Dafoe. My sister had sex with a guy who voiced the Crypt Keeper. And in my head I heard, "It's getting a little stiff in here." My mom was pursued by Bill Nye sometime after college. They lived in the same apartment complex, so he would ask her out every so often. Finally she said yes. And he cooked her a spaghetti dinner in his apartment. She said he was nice but a little weird. She met my dad shortly after. I didn't personally have sex with Veronica Vaughn, but a guy I know. He and her got it on. Can we agree that while this sh*t doesn't need to be verified, you should at least tell a story? Because sh*t-yo. I don't need it to be real if it's a fun enough read. Edit. If it's a fun enough read, one sentence is not a fun read. Oh clever asses of the interwebs. Bon Jovi's daughter. Hardly knew her. It just kinda happened. Did you get her halfway there? Edit. So now both of my top comments are Zul puns. I am okay with this. Chelsea Clinton said she liked my shirt. I've made out with a PRN star. I didn't know she was at the time. I found out a day later when one of her friends told me she did softcore and LPRN. I don't think she knows what softcore PRN is. A few years later I did find a video of her. It was odd. Softcore and LPRN. Yeah. That's an oxymoron. Softcore and LPRN. Is this even possible? I need to know. It hurts me to post this here. And I am only inviting another round of mom jokes. But here goes. My mom worked in advertising and PR for the film industry in LA during the late 70s and 80s. Pains me to say. But the pictures of my mom back in the day are stunning. She was an absolute bombshell. 10/10. One night when I'm in my teens. I'm upstairs trying to sleep with my window open as my mom was out of the porch drinking with her old movie friends who were in town for the week. Through my window, I proceeded to hear them laugh and reminisce about how my mother had dated Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was still a bodybuilder. And that she had hooked up with Ted Danson numerous times, Kevin Bacon, and Roger Moore. I've only learned to deal with this fact by promising myself that I will do all I can to upstage her. Edit. I imagine a fair amount of cocaine was involved. You are 1 degree from Kevin Bacon. And you've both been in the same vagina. This gets asked all the time. My favorite answer so far was the chick who had a one-nighter with Efkin Beans from Even Stevens. Beans. The pinnacle of sexuality. My grandmother was courted by Colonel Sanders. I bet she chickened out. Someone please say Gilbert Gottfried. Edit. My highest rated comment ever is about me expressing the hope a redditor F-cat Gilbert Gottfried, and I'm not sure how I feel about this. My grandma had a date with Elvis. I will try and get pics. That one redditor who nailed Peaches probably wins this contest. Did he find out what else was in the Teachers of Peaches? I made out with the lead guitarist of Dashboard Confessional. And I've brushed my boob against Katy Perry's. And I've brushed my boob against Katy Perry's. I feel that this needs a little elaboration. For science. That is. Girl from my high school had sex with Ashton Kutcher. She's the one that killed his marriage with Demi Moore. He really downgraded on that one. You know how sometimes your mind goes to really strange places? Like doing something you wouldn't normally do that's crazy and absurd? Well, Ashton Kutcher flies into Cedar Rapids fairly frequently. And I work at the place that he flies into. So this one time, on one of the few occasions he actually came inside, he was headed into the bathroom, and I could follow him in there and do whatever I want to him. I could kill him. I'm gonna kill Ashton Kutcher. I didn't, of course. But I still thought about it. Long story short, our family legend is that my great-grandmother was creeped upon by Rasputin when she was 12 and in Russia with her father, who was a surgeon, there to meet with Nicholas II. So nothing at all close to sex, but still thought I would share. Every PR director's worst nightmare. My girlfriend had a friend who apparently hooked up with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. A friend. Keep telling yourself what you need to sleep at night. Comrade. Jimmy Savile. My ex one summer during college hooked up with Zach Braff. Hence why she's an ex. Does this count? One time I drunkenly told a drunk German girl that I was Seth Rogen. She seemed to buy it. Elsewhere in this thread, Seth Rogen came to my town in Germany. We had a one-night stand. I'm gonna keep this vague, which essentially makes it unverifiable. So I'm sorry in advance. I went to high school with a girl who turned out to be a highly successful PRN star. I was unaware of this fact when she'd come back into town, and I'd asked her if she wanted to grab coffee with me. We talked, laughed, and went back to my place. I was amazed at how comfortable she was with moving so fast. I wasn't complaining either. The sex was pretty plain vanilla, but it was still damned good. We dated for about 3 months, during which she revealed to me her history in the adult industry. Turns out, it's not the happiest place on earth like I wanted to believe. The funniest part was that after sex we'd watch a lot of PRN and she'd be able to point out who was faking it. Who wasn't really gay or lesbian. Who was really unattracted to whom. Etc. It's like she had an eagle eye for these things. Or maybe she FK'd them. I didn't ask for her Vagina's browsing history. Last night I had sex with Robert E. Lee's great granddaughter. Stuck my dick in American history. American history sex. Please be black. I peed in a urinal next to Will Ferrell. Totally saw his dick. Friend's wife FK'd Chad Kroger while they were married. They are still married. I would break up with her not because she cheated on me. Statistically, you'd think we would have at least one person who's had sex with Tiger Woods. Till nobody's friends use Reddit. I didn't FCK her. But I made out with a Danish reality star. Without knowing who it was. No Danes would be surprised. It's Amelie. Richard Dean Anderson's cousin's daughter. In my former profession I had sex with local celebrities. A few sports stars people may have heard. And a few newscasters, one radio DJ. I've had rival local politicians, on different days. Of course, and it always made seeing their ads just that much funnier. Did you have a Zumba studio in Maine? Wait. Former profession? Not to be rude. But stripper prostitute? Jerry Sandusky. I had sex with Kat Dennings, Scarlett Johansson and Emma Stone someday. A friend of a friend gave Ed Sheeran a blowjob. Apparently he has ginger pubes. Kelly peed on me once. I had sex with a famous PRN star. I came twice. She was practically begging for my penis but I had a class the next morning so I had to leave. I'm a virgin. I've never had sex. Edit. Holy FCK. Colby. Boo. Prepare the bowl LSHT. That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ace. I know from experience, dude. If you know what I mean. No. You don't. Asterisk. Well. Not me personally but a guy I know. Him and her got it on. Woo-ee-ee. No. They didn't. Asterisk. No. No. No they didn't. But you could imagine what it'd be like if they did. Right? Everybody on. Good. Great. Grand. Wonderful. No yelling on the bus. Sex with someone famous? No. Sex with someone infamous? No. Sex with someone? No. Operation Get Into Degrees Too Late. Who's with me? I had sex with Kanye West. And I was about to come. But he didn't let me finish. I lost my virginity to Woody Harrelson. But he denies it. Go watch Rampart. Everyone in here. No. But I know someone who knows someone. Does Lil Wayne count? If so. No. Pamela Anderson. Angelina Jolie. The girl from Hanson. My mom dated Slash. Bill Murray. But you will never believe me. Probably because you're homeless. My cousin FK'd Pitbull one night after a party in Miami lol. Apparently he's good in bed. Which I guess makes up for the fact he's a TTY rapper. Dale. Is your mother considered famous? Everybody knows her. She's like a shotgun. One cock and she blows. A kid from college FK'd Tara Reid. Has pictures. She raunchy. I once found $1 on the street and as I bent over to pick it up, Bill Murray runs up and jams his dick in my ass. Saying, "Nobody will believe you." My mom dated Patrick Swayze in high school. Waltrip H.S. in Houston. I was FK'd by George W. Bush. My friend had sex with Donald Glover. Aka Childish Gambino. 2 years ago on his tour bus. Trust me, I was there. If anyone would like the story, I'd be willing to explain. If anyone would like the story. Of course you want their story. A girl I know said she gave Mike Posner a blowjob. I had sex with someone that 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 had sex with Kevin Bacon. The problem with a question like this is that even if a redditor has had sex with a celebrity, it is unlikely that they would be willing to share, and if they did they would be called a liar anyways. If, for example, I were to claim I got a mediocre blowjob from a drunken Alanis Morissette at a high school party, nobody would believe it. People would downvote me. There would be demands for proof that obviously couldn't be supplied, and in the end nobody would have a good time. Isn't it ironic? No one has had sex with someone famous. It's Reddit. No one has had sex with anyone. I've fk'd overly attached girlfriend. Does being molested by Michael Jackson count? Yes. I had sex with a minor celebrity in the 80s. It wouldn't be classy to name names, but let's just say she found out where the beef was. In the 80s? Or in her 80s? Some supercelebrity that used to go to my high school had sex with Tiger Woods a few months ago. He texts her still. With Times Person of the Year 2006. I once masturbated while Jesus watched me. Does that count? We don't want to hear your prison stories. People please. Can we stay on topic and talk about Rampart? I asked my mom and she responded with "I used to clean Schwarzenegger's house" and furiously blinked at me. I'm scared. I had gay sex with a movie star that has been married and or separated many times. No, it is not Tom Cruise or John Travolta. Though some will say that by posting this I'm a liar. I fk'd Ted Boxxy was a couple years back while on a work retreat in Sacramento and met some cute chick at a Chili's. Didn't realize who it was until her hand was massaging my dick under the table and she did a face I recognized from her YouTubes. Long story short, that girl is crazy horny and I got to fill her Boxxy's box. At the time, reigning Miss California. No. Not Carrie Prejean. I was stationed at Coronado Island and we were both catching a plane at San Diego Airport. Betty White gave me a handjob in a White Castle bathroom. My grandmother gave Charlie Chaplin a handjob. Did you guys know I had sex with Eartha Kitt in an airplane bathroom? It came up organically. I had a long relationship with music producer Quincy Jones. I shook hands with Bill Clinton. So I'm only 2 degrees of separation from the cigar that was inside Monica Lewinsky. And God only knows what else. Still, BC was the best president we've had since Kennedy. And it appears he's scored more than any press since Kennedy. 2. We were stationed at Edwards AFB in CA. They filmed a bunch of both movies there. And had quite a few active duty as extras. In Transformers. She's a nurse in a flight suit during the scene with the tail on the table in the C-17. She was also in a scene, which I can't find, where Amory Nolasco's character is dying. In Iron Man. She's in the back of the C-17 when Tony Stark arrives back after escaping capture. She was supposed to be in Transformers 2. But got picked for Squadron Officer School. So was away during filming. If she had made it into that, she could have registered in the Screen Actors Guild to actually get credited. Yeah. But were Iron Man and the Transformers in your wife? My best friend had a drunken one-night stand with Devin Rattray aka Buzz from Home Alone. Buzz. Your girlfriend? Woof. I think I speak on behalf of Reddit when I say no.